And hello everybody, we have another episode of forecasts for 2022, this time with cryptocurrencies. So what will happen and what do we expect from sector? Will we get to a massive drop on Bitcoin chart, or rather in reverse get finally to this promised by some analysts and some YouTubers 100k. So at first I would like to say that if you find our videos informative, just hit subscribe button so you'll be updated with our content, and if you find this video exactly enjoyable, just hit the like button. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's get into it. So at first, why Bitcoin haven't hit 100k this year? We have a very good standpoint right here to be seen. On this article, we find that Bitcoin cycles are lengthening. So with this one, even if the Genesis cycle lasted only 250 days, we could see that second lasted 750 days and the third around 1050. The current cycle, which started with a bottom of 3122 on 15th of December 2018, is just now approaching the 1050 day mark. So it's very difficult to say we just have topped out, as this market just saying us that there is still an opportunity to top out within 2022 year. So with this one we can expect that when commodities have its very good year, there might be also another catalyst to put Bitcoin in favor of investors, as Bitcoin is qualified more like a commodity than like a normal stock. So Bitcoin and maybe Ethereum, that might be a year of those two major cryptocurrencies. However, the altcoin space may suffer a bit. So let's get into another thing, that is Bitcoin average mining costs. So Bitcoin average mining costs is very important in terms of sentiment on the mining side of cryptocurrencies. So with Bitcoin average mining costs right here marked on blue, we can find that Bitcoin average mining costs is at 24,628. However, Bitcoin's price is at 46,000. So right now with this ratio at about 2 to 1, we can find that recently we have hit a top, and this time is no different, and probably it's another obstacle from that stops us from going higher. So I would find that Bitcoin price should get higher, otherwise miners could sell off their positions. Right now we haven't seen this yet, but even with the slump, the prices, the Bitcoin average mining costs, with this topping out energy costs, with energy crisis that right now is hitting the whole I would say Europe and also America, we can find that it may be more difficult for miners to stay profitable, and it would mean that some of them may close their positions on Bitcoin. Also, the sentiment on exchanges. We can see that behavior of net volume in and out of exchanges, which has spent 2021 oscillating between plus and minus 5k BTC, and right now, in fact, over the course of the last week, we have seen a reversal from net exchange outflows back to net exchange inflows. So it means that right now the sentiment is more negative as net inflows, showing us that there is more like a tendency to sell off cryptos rather than accumulate, at least among short and medium term investors. So it means that the sentiment is turning to get a bit bearish. A very strong inflow we've seen during this May's cryptos carnage. Right now we don't find such a strong tendency, but as we find even with outflows that have been seen right after the slump on beginning of December, we find that recent highs has been sold out by those investors. So there is still much more strength need to get back to the market to get recovered. I do expect, however, that 2022 will be a good year for crypto, at least to some extent, to first half of 2022, with this very important, very big event to happen on Ethereum. So it has been planned for years, but Ethereum's transition to proof of stake will finally take a definitive step forward this year as the new proof of stake beacon chain merges with current proof of work chain. And nevertheless, that implies a degree of risk and big advantages to the transition that may happen in 2023, and 2022 maybe is not the year of introducing sharding that will lower transaction fees, but it may be a very, very interesting year to beginning of such transformation. So this improvement that is on the roadmap of Ethereum for this year maybe won't bring much of an underlying improvements in terms of how the whole structure of ecosystem is working, but the change, the gradual transformation, gradual migration to ETH 2.0 may bring and may set and onboard millions of users without sacrificing decentralization in the nearest future. So will the whole migration happen this year or next? It's still on the roadmap, and 2022, especially this first half of 2022, is very important for ETH ecosystem, and possibly very interesting for investors and speculators as well. So what the whole thing is all about. So Ethereum is trying to face the high energy consumption. This energy consumption usage topic has been hot when debating about cryptocurrencies that were condemned of a high levels of energy that had to secure the network. So right now, changing Ethereum's consensus layer to proof of stake reads the network of miners and will replace them with validators. By using randomness to assign block production, proof of stake will be able to run with significantly lower energy consumption, and Ethereum Foundation predicts that after the merge, the network will happen. Ethereum will use at least 99.95% less energy than it does in its current state. So it's that's a very, very brave forecast. So energy efficiency is the narration that should favor the growth of ecosystem in the coming year, especially with EU and also US is transforming its policies into more green rather than more black. So this zero emission and high efficiency with nearly zero consumption, I would say, function is a very good narration that should favor the bulls in the coming months. Okay, the next one is Ether becoming deflationary. The combination of DeFi, EIP 1559 and Ethereum's coming transition to proof of stake has worked to create what Ether holders call ultra sound money. So EIP in 1559 has introduced a deflationary mechanism to the network, creating a base transaction fee for utilizing block space on the network and then burning that fee out of existence. So the thing that Ethereum has become much of a deflationary asset when being used by lots of users has been a strong narration that pushed Ethereum's price higher in 2021. Right now, Ethereum research report modeled the impact of combination of EIP 1559 and proof of stake that will have on Ether's circulating supply and transaction fee burn combined with lower rewards, and Ether locked for validating will drive the circulating supply equilibrium down to between 27.3 and 49.5 million ETH. For comparison, the current supply is sitting at 118 million ETH and is still slightly inflationary after the addition of EIP 1559. So there's much more to wait for with this transition coming up. There's a huge challenge ahead Ethereum Foundation to convert every single piece of application from ETH1 to ETH2. And right now a current execution layer, that is layer 1, will be ported over to the incoming proof of stake consensus layer and supported by the clients that are currently in charge of ETH1. However, it still needs an approval from every single entity to convert himself to another layer. So it's still not certain that everything will succeed. So I would expect Ethereum to convert from 1.0 to 2.0, but it will take much more time that is expected, and not everything will happen within months, but it may take years. We need to just bear in mind this fact. However, Ethereum average transaction fees that has count up to even $70 on the May of 2021 is showing us there is still lots need to be done in order to have Ethereum thrive in the coming years. Right now, the more scalability is one of the most demanded feature of this ecosystem, and with the upcoming year we wouldn't find much of the change on average transaction fees, so it means that such solutions as sharding rollups or cold data improvements will be some of the features that will be brought over on 2023. So yeah, we still need to wait a bit longer and maybe use another chains if Ethereum will be still blocked or kind of clocked. In order to sum up, proof of stake is one of the roads that should finally bring Ethereum to more decentralization and scalability. By replacing hash power with randomness and keeping block size low, Ethereum will enable any user with average hardware to profitably run an Ethereum validator. Additionally, under proof of stake, the Ethereum network will have the capability to implement sharding and other scalability-focused upgrades that will lower transaction costs down the road. So, proof of stake is not a threat for the whole structure, but a big challenge that the Ethereum Foundation will need to face in the 2022, 2023, and even up to 2024. Needless to say that 2022 will belong to regulatory scene being put on cryptocurrencies. At the first front, there are such spaces that need regulation, at least as stablecoins, especially with CBDCs and national cryptocurrencies being adopted. For instance, China trying to put their CBDCs, the digital yuan, in 2022. El Salvador has already adopted Bitcoin currency, and we can find that it has met with quite often anxiety among bond investors. So 2022 will be a year of possible battle between CBDCs, this central bank currencies, and also free cryptocurrencies, decentralized cryptocurrencies. So that may be a very interesting year. The regulatory scene is showing us that it may bring a lot of turning points on the crypto market, on the crypto space, that will be highly watched by either investors or traders. So one of the another space that is also in a spotlight is the DAO, this decentralized autonomous organization that has been put in a limelight recently. So DAOs is also one of this topic that has been discussed recently, also with NFTs space that still awaits regulations. So it will be very interesting where this whole revolution will ago. So in order to sum up, 2022 will be a good year for cryptos, at least to end of this Ethereum's convert to proof of stake. If everything succeeds, it may extend to the whole 2022, but I would stay a bit cautious, and if you have profited from crypto markets in 2021, I would put some money off the table. If you haven't, I would put maybe still few percent on major cryptocurrencies, but not as much of percentage as it should be in the beginning of last year or at the end of 2020. So yeah, give me the info. What do you think about my forecasts for 2022 in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching, and see you on Friday into another episode of Blockrevision.